Hi guys, welcome to my part 2. I'm going to talk about completing the square, which is a subtopic that scare most students. So I'm going to just use an example for you to look at how I do it. Okay, so how to complete the square with two type. It's not really two type of quadratic function, just how it looks. Okay, the presentation. So basically, a quadratic function, you realize that sometimes when you are completing the square, a is equal to 1 or a is equal to -1, or it is greater than 1. Okay, so you have 2, 3, -2, -3. So I just wanted to draw your attention, okay, with this thing for you to understand what happens at that point. But then I'm going to do one question, one example for you to see what I do and how I do it. As I said, it's very easy. Just look at what I'm going to do. So this is a past question. It is given that f of x is equal to 2x squared minus 12x plus 10. Find the value of a, of b, and c for which f of x is equal to a into bracket x plus b all squared plus c. So I have to turn this or change this, okay, into this form. So that's what basically you do when you are trying to complete the square. You are rewriting, or you are changing the presentation of the quadratic into another form which looks like this most times. Okay, and so how do I do? So I have f of x is equal to 2x squared minus 12x plus 10. Okay, so basically when I look at this, I realize that there is a in front of the bracket. So what it means to me, I need to factorize 2, because when you look at what is happening in the bracket, the value attached to x, okay, there's nothing attached to x in the bracket. So basically it means that the value of 2 has to be factorized. So this is what I do. So I'm factorizing 2 out of these two terms. That's all. The 10, I will leave it somewhere. Okay, so I will write 2, so 2 into bracket then x squared, okay, minus 6, because if I divide 2 by 12, I get 6x plus 10. Okay, so I've solved one problem, which is I know what is a. Now I need to transform this into this form. So this is what I do. So I have 2, then I have x squared minus 6x. Then I will use this second term and divide by 2. So for example, -6 divided by 2, I get -3. Then I'll add the same thing, so -3 squared, and then subtract by the same thing. So I'm not doing anything actually, because at the end of the day, when I'm adding something and subtracting by the same thing, still 0. So I'm just writing it in such a way that it will look the way I want it to look. Okay, so because as I can see that, you know that when you have a plus b all squared, you get a squared plus 2ab plus b squared. So if I have something like this, then I can write it this way at the end, because at the end of the day I need it to look that way. So then I'll write 2x squared minus 6x, okay, plus 9. And then this term will go out of the bracket. Okay, so don't forget, when it comes out of the bracket, you are multiplying it by 2. Okay, that is what I meant with what I was talking about here. When it is 1, you don't have a problem, but when it is greater than 1, you don't need to forget that there was a 2 out, so it will affect this term when it's coming out. So then it will be -2 times what? Times what is in the bracket, which is 9 plus 10. Okay, so then 2 into bracket. So here you can see that you have this form, which can go back to this form. So here it is the same thing as x minus 3. Okay, and when you expand, you get the same thing. So you write x minus 3 all squared, -18 plus 10. So then I'll have 2x minus 3 all squared -8. Okay, so I completed the square. So basically you need to understand the step I've done. Okay, basically two things. I divided this by -2, added the same thing, square it, and then went through my process. So this is how I do to complete my square. It's not difficult. Okay, as I said, if what you are factorizing, or the value attached to xy was 1, you wouldn't have had any problem, because the negative 9 would have come without any problem, okay? But because there's a 2, it affects anything in the bracket. So at the end of the day, my A is 2, my B is -3, and my C is -8. So I hope you have understood, okay, how to complete the square. I may post another video under the same thing. My next video might be on logarithm. So I hope you've understood. In case you have any question, please drop it below this video. I will look at it, and we can I can solve the question for you and teach you privately. Okay, so then see you next time. Bye.